It makes people do crazy things.
He's talking about meth, but it's a story you don't hear often. Police arrested a man for making meth on property owned by Mattoon's police chief. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Brian Shadwell is facing charges for manufacturing and property damage. WCIA3's Courtney Bunting live in the newsroom. Courtney, this is a wild story.
It really is, Jennifer, and I had to double check a few times myself to make sure that I was getting all these details straight. Shadwell actually lives, though, next to the property that Chief Jason Taylor owns, so it makes sense that he would be nearby. But what he was doing is a bit more surprising.
Basically, I received a phone call here at the police station from a person that lives in that area that said you should go look at what's going on in your woods. There's some suspicious activity there.
Though Mattoon Police Chief Jason Taylor has seen a lot during his years in law enforcement, investigations don't usually lead him to his own property.
Detectives and I went out to my woods on a farm I own near Lake Paradise and went into the woods and found evidence of making meth.
But who was doing it? Soon they had their answer: Brian Shadwell. Police say Shadwell rode onto Taylor's property on this lawnmower with a chainsaw in the cart.
He was removed from the lawnmower and placed on the ground, placed in handcuffs because he was already wanted on some outstanding drug warrants.
Though they don't often happen on Taylor's property, he says these types of arrests are all too common.
It's been a curse on our city, not only our city, but cities throughout the Midwest.
Which makes understaffing issues even harder.
Our department's currently at levels, staffing-wise, last seen in the 1970s. Since that time, demand for police services and call volume has tripled.
And if they don't hire more people now, he's afraid there will be serious consequences.
We've got 6 retirements coming in the next 11 months, and we've got a lot of turnover coming, and we need to replace those people. And it's vital that we replace those people. If we do not, the public must understand that we're going to have to pull our school resource officers out of the school. We're going to have to pull our drug task force officer out of the drug task force. Now is not the time to be making any of those adjustments.
Shadwell was also cutting down Taylor's trees on his property to use for firewood. Taylor says he was also Shadwell was using the chainsaw that he had whenever he met with officers, whenever he was arrested. That had been stolen. They also found he had another one, and that one was stolen as well. Live in the newsroom, Courtney Bunting, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Courtney, thank you so much. Now, Chief Taylor mentioned those staffing shortages. He explained they would like to have 42 officers, but they can deal with 38 that they have now. If they go below that, and with retirements they will, they'll have to cut positions like SROs.